Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Atlantic City and the Sandcastle, where BFA Sports is proud to present Region 19 Garden State Athletic Conference action as the visiting Bergen County College Bulldogs are set to face off against the Atlantic Cape Community College Buccaneers in the third game of their three-game series. Happy to have you with us on this much more March-like day than in early May. I'm Bob Burkholtz, along with the rest of the outstanding BFA Sports crew. Happy to have join us and excited to bring you today's action. We're coming to you a half inning tad late, some technical difficulties, but it sounds and looks like we have everything up and ready to go. Buccaneers come into today's contest with a record of 13-11, 9-9 in Region 19, while the Bergen County Bulldogs have a record of 17-18, 6-13 in Region 19. Again, this is the third game of the series. Atlantic Cape captured the first two games of this series back on Friday. If you remember, we had a ton of rain coming in here over the weekend, so it washed out the third game of the series. So Bergen makes the trip down here to AC to try and salvage this final game of the set. So the Bulldogs went down 1-2-3 in the top half of the first inning. So Atlantic Cape batting here in the bottom of the first. They'll send up their second baseman, Andrew Baldino. And they'll face the right-hander from Bergen County, Stephen Crandall. So again, just underway here in Atlantic City. First offering from Crandall to Baldino. Ball missed down low, 1-0 to Baldino. As I mentioned in the initial intro, the weather could play a factor. Ground ball over to short, but not in time to throw out the speedy Baldino. And it'll be an infield base hit. So a leadoff base runner here for the Buccaneers. That'll bring up the center fielder for the Buccaneers, Kevin Foreman. St. Augustine product. Batting with one on and nobody out. Curveball from Crandall will miss low. Here's the 1-0. Laced in the hole down the left field for a base hit. So Baldino will stop at second. But it's back-to-back singles here for the Buccaneers, with two runners on and nobody out here in the home half of the first. That'll bring up the Buccaneers shortstop, Louis Sari. Sari leading the Buccaneers in hitting this year, batting at a .479 clip, 5 home runs, 6 doubles, 23 RBIs. Up here in a big spot early in this one. Here's the first pitch to Sari. Squares the bunt, bunts it straight up in the air, right back to Crandall, and he'll make the catch for the easy first out. So the Buccaneers looking to play a little small ball, get the first two men on base, have Sari up. But he pops that bunt right back to Crandall. It's a big first out here for the Bulldogs. That'll bring up the Buccaneer catcher, Gabe Zielinski. First pitch from Crandall over for a strike. Runners on first and second, one out here in the bottom of the first. Crandall checks the runner at second, looks twice. Curveball, out to second. Apply the tag. Umpire says he's there. Throw to first. In time. So the Bulldogs escape a jam here in the first, as the Buccaneers get the first 2 runners on base, but they leave them stranded as a double play to end the inning. We'll head to the top of the second inning. No score here in Atlantic City on BFA Sports.
It's more than a game. It's more than just practice. It's more than coaching.
It's more than learning.
It's more than a team.
Es más que el béisbol.
Being a good teammate.
Being responsible.
It's being a hard worker.
It's learning how to communicate.
It's becoming the best version of myself.
It's more than baseball. It's a program that transforms lives.
And that's why we need your help to transform the baseball field at Atlantic Cape that has gone unused for years. Through the Bring It Home Capital campaign, we'll work to restore and revitalize the field on campus, giving the Buccaneers a true home field advantage, where we can honor their hard work and dedication. We don't just teach these young men how to be better ball players, we teach them how to be better people, instilling values like responsibility, commitment, and dependability. Our players understand that what happens on the field is only part of the picture. What they do in the classroom, at home, and in their communities is just as important as being a well-rounded athlete. Help us bring it home. Let's show these young athletes that there's nothing that can't be accomplished through determination and teamwork. It's more than baseball. It's changing lives. And together, we can make a difference.
Back here for the top of the second, the Bulldogs will send up their 4, 5, and 6 hitters. And the first pitch from Buccaneer starter Remy Wiltz is over for a strike, the freshman right-hander. 0-1 on the season, 13 innings pitched, pitching to a 5.54 ERA. That's lined out to center field. Foreman a couple steps in, now he drifts back. It'll make the grab for out number 1. Again, we mentioned the conditions here, breezy, windy, flags out there in center field flying straight out to center. So the first test for Foreman in the outfield. Sees that ball hop a little bit, takes a couple steps back, but makes the grab for out number 1. That'll bring up Ian Scalabrini, first baseman for the Bulldogs. First pitch for a ball. Foul back and out of play. Scalabrini hitting .283 on the season. Double, triple, 2 homers. 5 RBIs for the freshman. Batting here with 1 out in the top of the second. Wiltz gets his sign. Pitch is called a ball. Our umpires here today calling the balls and strikes, Mr. Kevin Jones. Out on the base pass today is Gary Ormsby. One swung on, swung through by Scalabrini. They get 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Ian Scalabrini. Here's the 1-2. Off-speed pitch, lays straight back. Scalabrini will stay alive. Here's the 1-2. Swung on through, blew him right on by. And the second strikeout of the game here for Remy Wiltz. put out number 2 on the scoreboard. That'll bring up the Bulldog designated hitter, Julian Pinto. We'll take the first pitch from Wiltz over for a strike. Wiltz working ahead here early in the game so far. All-speed pitch over for a strike. Quickly 0-2 for Julian Pinto. Here's the 0-2, swung on and missed. Strikeout number 3 on the day for Remy Wiltz. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for the Buccaneers. No runners left on base. We move to the home half of the second inning. No score here in Atlantic City. It'll be Trace Warner here, leading off for the Buccaneers in the home half of the second inning. Buccaneers threatened in the home half of the first, but couldn't come away with any runs scored. Curveball from Crandall over for a strike. It'll be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters here for the Buccaneers. There's the 0-1. Foul straight back. Crandall working ahead here, no balls and 2 strikes. To the Buccaneer right fielder. There's the 0-2 pitch. Crandall goes to the curveball, tries to bounce one up there. Good block back there by Louis De La Cruz for the Bulldogs. Sandcastle field in very good shape with all the rain that we've had here over the weekend. Dried out nicely. These teams able to get together, complete this 3-game series. Back to the curveball, fought off by Warner, who'll line that down foul on the first base line. So defensive swing there from Warner does just enough to stay alive. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, we're here in the top of the second inning, or excuse me, the bottom of the second inning. No score. There's the offering from Crandall, fouled straight back again. So Trace Warner doing a good job fighting off some pitches, staying alive. Crandall gets a sign he likes. Here's the 1-2. Popped up on the infield. Steven Peralta says he's got it. Second baseman's in a step or two, makes the catch. And that's out number 1 here in the bottom of the second. That'll bring up the Buccaneer designated hitter, Javi Vega. Javi batting .220 on the year. First pitch swinging, he lines that into the gap in right center field. That'll fall in for a base hit, and Vega will stop there at first base as Pasquale's over to cut it off. So it's a 1-out base hit here for Javi Vega. That'll bring up the Buccaneer first baseman, Eduardo Tinoco. Tinoco hitting .212 on the year, 11 hits, 2 doubles, 5 RBIs, 8 walks. Batting here with 1 out, runner at first, here in the bottom of the second. First pitch from Crandall there, blocked nicely there by De La Cruz. Javi Vega over at first with 1 stolen base on the year. I don't know if he's a threat to go here in this spot, but we shall see. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Grounded foul. And that'll even account here with 1 ball and 1 strike to Eduardo Tinoco. Crandall will check the runner at first. Curveball swung on, beaten foul down the third base dugout where the Buccaneers call home. So that'll run the count here with 1 ball and 2 strikes to Tinoco. Vega over at first on a base hit with 1 out. Here's the 1-2 from Crandall. Goes upstairs with it. Tinoco protecting the plate. Foul that one straight back and stay alive. They'll keep the count here with 1 ball and 2 strikes. Crandall check over at Vega over at first, but Vega back in plenty of time. Great view from our camera crew there, giving you the pitcher over to first base, checking Vega's lead, a moderate-sized lead. But he gets the curveball on the strikeout there to Tinoco. So that's out number 2 here for the Buccaneers in the second. That'll bring up the third baseman, John Dempsey. So we'll come up here with 2 outs. Vega's still over at first. Sophomore third baseman here for the Buccaneers. Dempsey out of Saddlebrook High School. Steven Crandall gets the sign. Here's the pitch. Swung on. Lays the Vargas over at short. He'll take the easy way. Vega hustling at first. They just get him. So good base running there from Javi Vega to try to beat that throw. But it's not in time, and that'll retire the side. So for the Buccaneers, no runs, 1 hit. We move to the top of the 3rd inning, scoreless here in Atlantic City on BFA Sports.
It's more than a game. It's more than just practice.
It's more than coaching. It's more than learning.
It's more than a team.
Es más que el béisbol.
Being a good teammate.
Being responsible.
Being a hard worker.
It's learning how to communicate.
Becoming the best version of myself.
It's more than baseball. It's a program that transforms lives.
And that's why we need your help to transform the baseball field at Atlantic Cape that has gone unused for years. Through the Bring It Home Capital campaign, we'll work to restore and revitalize the field on campus, giving the Buccaneers a true home field advantage, where we can honor their hard work and dedication. We don't just teach these young men how to be better ball players, we teach them how to be better people, instilling values like responsibility, commitment, and dependability. Our players understand that what happens on the field is only part of the picture.
Here in the top of the third, is it cold enough to call it blustery? I don't know if it's cold enough. It's close. It's on the borderline of cold and blustery. First pitch from Remy Wiltz over for a strike. So face the 7, 8, 9 hitters here for the Bulldogs. It'll be Carlos Pascual leading off things here for Bergen County. No score, top of the third. Swung on and missed by Pascual. Buccaneers threatened in the home half of the first, but Bulldogs got out of it. The pitchers have done a good job here so far the rest of the way. That offering from Wiltz will miss. Pascual hitting in .327 on the year, 32 hits, 3 doubles, 2 triples, 20 RBIs. That pitch will miss outside. Remy Wiltz out for his third inning of work. Here's the pitch, up and in. So it'll be 3 balls and 1 strike here to Carlos Pascual. Check that, was 3-2, so that'll strike out Carlos Pascual for the first out here in the third. Strikeout number 4 for Remy Wiltz. That'll bring up the Bulldog shortstop, Jonathan Vargas. Vargas hitting at .269, 25 hits, 3 doubles, 2 triples, does have a homer, 12 RBIs. 8 walks, 8 stolen bases. As he offers it that first pitch, but pulls it back, called a ball, and it's 1-0 to Jonathan Vargas. Another close pitch there from Wiltz, just misses. So Vargas threatening the bunt. Takes 2 pitches, now ahead in the count here, 2 balls and no strikes. That 2-0 is over there for a called strike. So 2-1 here to Jonathan Vargas. Vargas showing bunt again. This time he takes, but it's called a strike. So that'll even the count here at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Wiltz falls behind 2-0, comes right back, evens the count here. Here's the 2-2. Swung on, grounded. Over to Dempsey at third, up with it in time to retire Vargas at first. So a nice play there by John Dempsey. He charges it, makes the throw to retire the speedy Vargas for out number 2 here in the third. That'll bring up the Bulldog left fielder, Tommy Jova. Takes the first pitch for a ball. Jova hitting .215 on the year, 17 hits, 4 doubles, triple, 1 homer, 12 RBIs, 12 walks, 3 stolen bases. He bats here with 2 outs in the third. All speed from Wiltz. Nice pitch over for a strike. Foul straight back. Remy Wiltz doing an outstanding job on the mound for the Buccaneers here, pounding the strike zone. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed for out number 3. So another 1-2-3 inning here for the Buccaneers. No runs, no hits. We move to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Still scoreless here in Atlantic City on BFA Sports. Back here in Atlantic City, a great shot of the wind farm here out on the bay of Atlantic City. Getting a lot of work here today. Breezy, windy conditions here in the Sandcastle. As we're here in the home half of the 3rd inning, as the Buccaneers will send up the 9-1 and 2 hitters. Face Stephen Crandall out for his 3rd inning of work. It'll be Ian Provenzano, first pitch swinging through that one. So quickly 0-1. To the Buccaneer left fielder. Provenzano hitting .240 on the year. Six hits, 2 doubles, 4 walks, 2 stolen bases. Swings through that one. Quickly 0-2 to Ian Provenzano. Important game here for the Buccaneers, as we mentioned in the intro. They're sitting at 9-9 in the region. About a week left to go here in the season before we start the playoffs. Lays back up the middle. Crandall knocks it down, fires over to first. So they'll give a quick check out to Stephen Crandall, but did an excellent job to stay with it. Bergen Community College head coach Steve Mims out to check on his pitcher as Stephen Crandall waves the head coach back, says, "Coach, I'm good." So 1 away, that'll turn the lineup over here for the Buccaneers. It'll be Andrew Baldino batting with 1 out, nobody on base. The infield single that led off back in the first. Baldino was ended up stranded. The Buccaneers threatened but came away empty. So it's 1 out here for the Buccaneers second baseman. Those comebackers to the pitcher never hurt as much when you get the guy out. When he gets on base, it stings a little bit, but Crandall shakes it off. Seems no worse for the wear. He fires that strike in there. Good pitch from Crandall. Crandall working out of the stretch here with no runners on base. Line out the center field. Pascal a couple steps in, but it'll fall in front of him. So it's a one-out base hit here for Andrew Baldino. Gonna bring up Kevin Foreman. Foreman followed up Baldino's first innings infield single with a base hit of his own. So batting in a similar spot here with one out. We'll keep an eye at Baldino over at first. He does have 6 stolen bases on the season. First pitch from Crandall will miss low. Here's the 1-0, Kevin Foreman. That pitch will miss downstairs as well, so Foreman finds himself ahead in the count here, 2 balls and no strikes. Runner over at first, we have 1 out here in the top of the 3rd. Crandall checks Baldino over at first. Swung on, ground to Vargas at short, bobbles it a little bit, but not enough. As they get the lead runner over at second, they throw to first, but it's not in time. So fielder's choice for Kevin Foreman. Will retire Baldino at second for out number 2. Gonna bring up the Buccaneers shortstop, Louis Sari, who attempted to bunt back in the first when Baldino and Foreman reached on back-to-back singles, but he popped it up right back to Crandall on the mound. So it'll be 2 outs, a runner over at first here for Sari. Foreman over at first. He does have 14 stolen bases on the season, leading the Buccaneers, so maybe a good spot for him to go. Good lead. Not running. That ball's lifted deep to left field. Jova's going back to the track, to the wall. Out of here. Home run, Louis Sari. And the Buccaneers on the 2-run home run from Louis Sari lead it 2-0 here in the bottom of the 3rd. So Sari finds a off-speed pitch from Crandall. He left it up in the zone, and Sari does a good job of getting it up in the wind, although I don't think that ball needed much help. But a 2-run home run here from Sari with 2 outs. That'll bring up Gabe Zielinski. Grounded into a double play, his first plate appearance here today. First pitch there from Crandall over for a called strike. Swung on. Vargas is short up with it. Over to first in time. And that'll retire the side. But the Buccaneers get on the board, courtesy of the 2-run home run by Louis Sari. And after 3 innings of play, the Atlantic Cape Community College Buccaneers 2, the Bergen Community College Bulldogs 0. We head to the 4th here on BFA Sports.
It's more than a game.
It's more than just practice. It's more than coaching.
It's more than learning.
It's more than a team.
Es más que el béisbol. being a good teammate.
Being responsible.
It's being a hard worker.
It's learning how to communicate.
It's becoming the best version of myself.
It's more than baseball. It's a program that transforms lives.
That's why we need your help to transform the baseball field at Atlantic Cape that has gone unused for years. Through the Bring It Home Capital campaign, we'll work to restore and revitalize the field on campus, giving the Buccaneers a true home field advantage, where we can honor their hard work. We don't just teach these young men how to be better ball players, we teach them how to be better people, instilling values like responsibility, commitment, and dependability. Our players understand that what happens on the field is only part of the picture. What they do in the classroom, at home, and in their communities is just as important as being a well-rounded athlete. Help us bring it home. Let's show these young athletes that there's nothing that can't be accomplished through determination and teamwork. It's more than baseball. It's changing lives. And together, we can make a difference.
Here's the first pitch to Ray Burita. Curveball, dribbled. Over to Sari at short. Fires across first, so it's one pitch, one out here for Remy Wiltz. As he faces the Bulldog lineup here for the second time. That'll bring up Steven Peralta, flied out to center field. His first plate appearance here this afternoon. Wiltz pounding the zone. First pitch strike. 0-1 to Steven Peralta. And we're here in the fourth. Buccaneers lead 2-0 courtesy of the Louis Sari 2-run home run. Back in the bottom of the third. 1 ball, 1 strike here to Steven Peralta. Curveball laid off for Peralta. That'll miss upstairs. It's 2 balls and 1 strike to Peralta. Bulldogs looking for their first base runner of the afternoon. Peralta swings through that one. That'll even the count here. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch will miss in. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 3-2. That'll miss downstairs, so it's a 1-out walk to Peralta. So the first base runner here for the Bulldogs, courtesy of the walk. That'll bring up the Bulldog catcher, Louis De La Cruz. Cruz struck out his first plate appearance. That pitch will miss down, so Wiltz working quickly and comfortably through the first 3. It's the leadoff hitter here in the fourth on one pitch, but now finds himself pitching when they're on. That ball's ripped out to right center field. Foreman back to the track, eyes it up, and makes the catch at the wall. Nice grab by Kevin Foreman to take extra base hits away from Louis De La Cruz. So allowed out for out number 2. That'll bring up R.J. Menert here with 1 on and 2 outs. So the wind is blowing out. It's kind of blowing center to left. I think if that ball had maybe been about 30 feet to the left, that ball could have easily cleared the fence, but I think the wind knocked that one down just a bit. But give credit to Kevin Foreman to track that one down for a big out number 2 for his pitcher. So with 1 on and 2 out, here's Menard. Peralta off on the pitch, up. Fire from Zielinski in time to retire Peralta for out number 3. So for the Bulldogs in the 4th, no runs, no hits, no runners left on base. We head to the home half of the 4th inning. The Buccaneers 2, the Bulldogs 0 here on BFA Sports. Back here, the home half of the 4th inning. Buccaneers leading 2-0. We'll send up the 5, 6, and 7 hitters here to face Stephen Crandall back out for his 4th inning of work. Trace Warner will lead things off here. Popped up to second base his first time up here today. Off-speed pitch will miss upstairs. Coming to you from the Sandcastle, or the Surf Stadium. Goes by a couple different names. The longtime home of the Atlantic City Surf, the independent league. Now home to the Atlantic City Cape Buccaneers. That's ball's line down the right field line. It'll make its way out of play. Field's also home to some various tournaments throughout the summer. Travel leagues, perfect game. Using this field, another field just down the road in Chelsea Heights, an all-turf field. So a couple nice facilities here in the Atlantic City area. So Warner swings through that one. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Trace Warner. Here's the 1-2. Curveball swung on, beaten foul at home plate. Warner with a similar at-bat to his first one, fouling some pitches off, making Crandall work. Again, even with the 2-run home run from Sari aside, the Buccaneer offense has done a good job to go deep into counts here against Crandall. That one's laced back up the middle, base hit for Trace Warner. So a clean single for Warner to lead off the 4th. And I'll bring up Javi Vega. Vega 1 for 1 with a base hit, his first time up here today. As he bats with one on, nobody out here in the home half of the fourth. Buccaneers lead 2-0. Crandall checks Warner over at first, back in time. But Warner's right back up. Crandall back over first again. So a little cat and mouse game here between Crandall and Warner over at first. And that pitch is bounced up there, so a little bit of that attention drawn by Warner pays off, and the first pitch bounced up there to Javi Vega. So 1-0 to the Buccaneer designated hitter. Warner with a hop step, he stays. The pitch will miss down again. So Vega ahead here in the count, 2 balls and no strikes, as the Buccaneers look to tack on and add to their 2-0 lead here in the 4th inning. Down again, De La Cruz fires down the first, but Warner back in time. So all the attention paid over to Warner at first has resulted in a 3-ball, no strike count here to Javi Vega. We'll see if he gets the green light. Takes all the way. Pitch is over for a strike, so 3 balls and 1 strike here to Javi Vega. Called strike. Pitcher's pitch. Good take, good pitch. Not the pitch that Vega's looking for there. 3-1 ahead in the count, but that strike from Crandall has now run the count here. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Vega, the local product from ACCC, fights off that curveball pitch to stay alive. Good job by the Buccaneer offense. They've really fought off a bunch of pitches from Crandall, and ultimately what that'll do is increase that pitch count and get into that Bulldog bullpen a little sooner than they may have liked. Here's the 3-2. Tough pitch to take, but it's called a ball. So the walk to Vega will now put runners on first and second here with nobody out for Eduardo Tinoco. Tinoco struck out his first plate appearance. We'll see what the Buccaneer offense wants to do with runners at first and second and nobody out here. Tinoco swinging away through the first pitch. It's 0-1 to Tinoco. Warner's out at second. He led off with a base hit. Vega followed that up with a walk. Nobody out here in the top of the 4th. Buccaneers lead 2-0. Fouled off to the screen. So Crandall in an important spot here for the Bulldogs as finds himself quickly ahead here in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. And single game here today, playing 9 innings. Single game, 9 innings. We're here in the home half of the 4th. Happy to have you with us here from Atlantic City. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Curveball will miss up. De La Cruz asking Crandall to get that one down. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Tinoco. First and second, nobody out here for the Buccaneers. Crandall takes his time. Round it back up to the middle. Vargas to his left, ranges, tags the bag himself, throw to first. Good pick over there by Scalabrini. And the pitcher's best friend, the 6'3" double play. We'll see the Buccaneers over with a runner at third base now with 2 outs. That'll bring up the Buccaneer third baseman, John Dempsey. Dempsey grounded into a fielder's choice at short, his first plate appearance. Crandall can see his way out of this jam. Limited damage. First pitch swung on by Dempsey, fouled at the plate. Big momentum lift there for your starting pitcher, Stephen Crandall. Nice job by Vargas out at short, take it himself. Good pick by Scalabrini. Here's the pitch from Crandall. That'll miss up. Here's the 1-1 from Crandall. That'll miss upstairs again. 2-1. Again, as big as that ground ball double play was for Crandall, job is not done. Still has a runner over at third. He wants to keep him there, leave him there. To keep it here at a 2-0 ball game. Dempsey taking all the way. So 2 balls and 2 strikes here to John Dempsey. Swung on, lifted, back and out of play. Over where my car is parked. I thought I was safe over there, but apparently not. But the count remains here. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Dempsey. Line, great grab over there by Menert. So the line out by Dempsey retires the side. So the Buccaneers threaten. They get the first 2 runners on base, but a double play and a line out drive caught. Retiring the side here for the Buccaneers. So no runs, 1 hit. They leave 1. We move to the top of the 5th inning. The Buccaneers lead 2-0 here on BFA Sports.
It's more than a game. It's more than just practice.
It's more than coaching. It's more than learning.
It's more than a team.
Es más que el béisbol.
Being a
It's learning how to communicate.
Becoming the best version of myself.
It's more than baseball. It's a program that transforms lives.
And that's why we need your help to transform the baseball field at Atlantic Cape that has gone unused for years. Through the Bring It Home Capital campaign, we'll work to restore and revitalize the field on campus, giving the Buccaneers a true home field advantage, where we can honor their hard work and dedication. We don't just teach these young men how to be better ball players, we teach them how to be better people, instilling values like responsibility, commitment, and dependence.
Back here at the Sandcastle, the Buccaneers leading here the Bulldogs of Bergen Community College 2-0. Remy Wiltz back out for his 5th inning of work. He'll face the 4, 5, and 6 hitters here for the Bulldogs. It'll be R.J. Menard, who snagged that line drive off the bat of John Dempsey to end the 4th. Takes the first pitch from Wiltz over for a called strike. As we mentioned, this is the 3rd game of the 3-game series. The Buccaneers capturing the first one. They won the first game on Friday, back on Friday, 4-2. Swung on and missed. 0-2 to R.J. Menard. And the Buccaneers won 4-2. Remy Wiltz appeared in that game, pitched 2/3 of an inning, closed it out, earned the save for the Buccaneers. So here he is 3 days later, looking to get the win. At off-speed pitch will miss inside. Buccaneers won this game 2 by a score of 7-5. Caden Daldo, winning pitcher. That one's lined straight back. Andrew Baldino was 2 for 4 with an RBI. Gabe Zielinski 3 hits for the Buccaneer offense. So the Buccaneers looking to sweep this 3-game set. Ground ball. Dempsey will range to his left, but tough play for him as he dove in the hole, but not nearly enough time to throw across and get Menard. So it'll be the first base hit here in the afternoon for the Bulldogs. And it's an infield base hit by R.J. Menard. Not much Dempsey could do on that one. In the hole, ranging to his left, knock it down. Gonna bring up the Bulldog first baseman, Ian Scalabrini. So he takes the first pitch from Wiltz over for a strike. Scalabrini struck out back in the 2nd, his first plate appearance. 5 strikeouts on the day for Remy Wiltz. That pitch will just miss. 1 ball and 1 strike to Scalabrini. Menard off on the pitch, taken for a ball, but a good jump there from R.J. Menard. And that'll put a base runner in scoring position for the Bulldogs. So Menard with his 18th stolen base on the year. Clearly a threat to go, and he did just that. I guess they say Scalabrini offered on that pitch. Home plate umpire Kevin Jones pointed to the batter. So that should even account here at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out here in the top of the 5th. Buccaneers lead 2-0. That pitch is swung on and missed. So we're out number 1 here for the Bulldogs, courtesy of the Wiltz strikeout. That'll bring up Julian Pinto. Was another one of Wiltz's strikeout victims. He's got 6 on the day here so far. Curveball's over for a called strike. Menard out at 2nd, 1 out. And here in the top of the 5th, Buccaneers leading 2-0. That curveball will hit him. So a hit by pitch to Julian Pinto will put the tying run on the bases. That'll bring up the Bulldogs center fielder Carlos Pascal, who struck out back in the third. First pitch lined out into the gap in left center field. That one's going to fall and get to the wall. Menard rounds third. He will score. Pinto on his heels, throw to the plate, not in time. And it's a 2 RBI double by Carlos Pascal. And that'll tie the ball game up here at 2 apiece. So the Bulldogs take advantage of the leadoff single and the hit by pitch. And it's Carlos Pascal to deliver the big 2 RBI double to tie us here 2-2. And Wiltz had been cruising along through the first 4. Had only allowed 1 base runner, a walk back in the 4th, but after a infield single, he got a strikeout, then a hit by pitch, and then the double by Pascal. Finds himself in his first bit of trouble here so far this afternoon. That'll bring up Jonathan Vargas. Rounded out the third, his first plate appearance here this afternoon. He'll take the first pitch from Wiltz over for a called strike. Here's the 0-1 from Wiltz. Grounded foul down the third base side. The Bergen bench giving it to head coach Steve Mims over there, who wasn't quite able to come up with that one. Here's the 0-2. This up and away. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jonathan Vargas. As the Bergen bench has gotten back into this one. 2 runs to tie it up will certainly do that for you. Brand new ball game. Curveball, line to Sorry. It's short, backhands it, fires over to Tinoco at first, in time to retire Vargas for out number 2. So with 2 outs, a runner out at second base, that'll bring up the left fielder for the Bulldogs, Tom Jova. Jova struck out back in the second, his only plate appearance this afternoon. Big hack from Jova, swings through that one. It's quickly 0-1. Here's the 0-1 from Wiltz. Fires it back in there, and he'll get through the hole to left field. Provenzano up with it quickly, fires it in. And not much Pascal could do at second base, even with 2 outs. The ball was not hit all that hard. It was hit right at Dempsey at third, so Pascal held up just enough to prevent him from coming around and scoring on the 2-out base hit by Jova. But that'll turn the lineup over and put runners at the corners for leadoff hitter Ray Morita. Morita's grounded out to second, or excuse me, grounded out to shortstop. Both plate appearances so far today, 0 for 2. So you got Pascal over at third, you got Jova over at first. 2 outs here for the Bulldogs, who already push 2 runs across to tie us up at 2. First pitch will miss low. Do have some bullpen action for the Buccaneers. As again, Wiltz has kind of breezed through the first 4, but a little bit of a speed bump here in the 5th. That pitch will miss away. Looks like Danny DeMarco, the lefty, down in the bullpen for the Buccaneers. As that pitch is over for a strike. So it's 2 balls and 1 strike to Ray Morita. Curveball misses wide. So Morita ahead in the count here again. 3 balls and 1 strike. He's got runners on the corners. We got 2 outs. Wiltz trying to pitch his way out of this trouble. Here's the 3-1. That'll miss down and away, so it's a 2-out walk to the Bulldog leadoff hitter. And that'll load him up here for the Bulldogs. As it's conference time here. And that looks to be it for Remy Wiltz. As Danny DeMarco makes his way into the bullpen. So Remy Wiltz's day is done. His line is not finished because he is responsible for the 3 runners that are out on the bases, but it's 4 2/3 innings of work. And again, Wiltz had faced the minimum batters through 4 innings. But the Bulldog offense goes leadoff single. They take advantage of a 1-out hit by pitch, big 2 RBI double from Pascal. A single, and now a 2-out walk has loaded them up. As the Buccaneers try to keep this game deadlocked at 2. That's where we sit. So DeMarco on the season has 5 appearances. He's 8 1/3 innings pitched. He's only given up 3 earned runs. He struck out 6. Pitching to a 3.24 ERA. So a big spot here for the sophomore left-hander out of Cranford, New Jersey, as we have a light drizzle starting to fall here. Again, the skies are somewhat bright, but we have a dark cloud just overhead of us here that's depositing some light drizzle onto the field. Probably looks a little heavier on your TV screen than it is here at home, but again, not the nicest of days here in early May, that is for sure. So the first offering from DeMarco is taken by the Bulldogs second baseman, Steven Peralta. Peralta 0 for 1 on the day with a walk. Up here in a big spot with 2 outs. That pitch is over for a strike. Here's the 1-1 to Peralta. That'll miss upstairs. Again, you hear the Bergen Community College bench sensing a big spot for their team here. hanging on every pitch as they've climbed back into this one. Here's the 2-1. That'll catch the outer half of the plate. So DeMarco evens the count here with 2 balls and 2 strikes. Time called. Peralta had asked for time. Home plate umpire Kevin Jones granted it just as DeMarco was to deliver his pitch. We'll start it up and try it again. Swung on and missed. Big strikeout there by Danny DeMarco, who comes in at big spots and leaves him stranded. But the Bulldogs are on the board as they score 2 runs on 3 hits. They leave them loaded. We move to the home half of the 5th inning, all tied at 2 here on BF. Here we are in the home half of the 5th inning, a brand new ball game. As the Bulldogs plate 2 runs in the top half of the 5th inning, so that's where we sit. Two runs for Bergen Community College, 2 runs for the Buccaneers. Stephen Crandall's back out for his 5th inning of work, but he'll do so with the Bulldog bullpen stirring down the right field line just in case he gets in trouble as he faces the 9, 1, and 2 hitters here for the Buccaneers. It'll be Ian Provenzano leading things off. He grounded back to the pitcher. Well, I'd say he grounded off the pitcher. Hit Stephen Crandall, but he quickly grabbed the ball, threw it over to first to retire Provenzano. It's over for a strike. Again, we're playing through a very, very light drizzle. It looks a little heavier on your screen than it does here at the field. It looks like the sun is actually trying to make its way. It's brightened up a little bit here. Again, if you told me this is May 2nd, I wouldn't believe you with this weather. That curveball swung on and missed by Provenzano. I think the weather's supposed to get nice next week. I saw 75, 80s. It's more like baseball weather. This is like Friday night football weather. Early fall, mid-fall. Here's a pitch from Crandall, grounded foul on the first base side. The Buccaneer first base coach unable to come up with that one. That's why you always leave them. As a coach, I never try to field them. If you don't ever try to field them, nobody can make fun of you. Here's the pitch to Provenzano. Strike 3 called. That'll be out number 1 for the Bulldogs. Stephen Crandall's second strikeout on the day, but that'll turn the lineup over, where the Buccaneers have done most of their damage here today. Baldino, 2 for 2 with 2 base hits. Foreman behind him, 1 for 2. Sorry, 1 for 2 with the big 2-run homer back in the 3rd. Crandall starts him off with a big curveball. Here to Buccaneer, second baseman Andrew Baldino. Swung on, lifted, out to left field. Jova in a few steps, now a couple steps back. He'll make the catch and retire Baldino for out number 2. Again, as that ball was in the air, I'm taking a look at the flags out in center field. The winds have shifted here a bit with that little mini brief rainstorm we've come in. The winds have now shifted from, it looks to be left field out towards the first base dugout. So earlier in the game, a fly ball to left field may have been much easier to leave the park. Now it'll be a little bit more of a challenge trying to fight through that through the wind. So with 2 outs and nobody on base, it'll be Kevin Foreman here for the Buccaneers. He's 1 for 2 on a day with a base hit and a run scored. That ball's grounded hard. Over to Menard at 3rd. Up with it, low throw, but scooped out there by Scalabrini. And that'll retire the side. So it's a 1-2-3 inning for the Bulldogs as we head to the 6th. All knotted up at 2 here on BFA Sports. We're here in the top of the 6th. All knotted up at 2. The Bulldogs of Bergen Community College will send up their 3, 4, and 5 hitters to face Danny DeMarco. First pitch from DeMarco over for a strike. Again, DeMarco coming in a big spot. Bases loaded, 2 outs back in the 5th. He got the strikeout. And 2-2 here in the 6th. Playing 9. Pitch will miss up and away. Louis De La Cruz, who's 0 for 2 in a day, strikeout, flat out. Pitch will missed it. De La Cruz. That pitch popped up straight back out of play. Souvenir for the fans. Nobody hustling after that one. Where's the little kids at that hustle after it? Turn it back in for a drink in the snack stand. Here's the pitch from DeMarco. Curveball. Out to Sorry, short, but unable to come up with it. It gets through Sorry. So it's a leadoff base runner here for the Bulldogs. Again, momentum has shifted a bit here in this one. The Buccaneers plating 2 back in the 3rd. Had Remy Wiltz on the mound, pitching well. The Bulldogs fight back in the top of the 5th, get 2 of their own. Now see themselves with a leadoff base runner here in the 6th. I'll bring up the 3rd baseman, R.J. Menard. 1 for 2 on the day with a fly out and an infield single. That one's in the dirt, bounces out in front. Zielinski unable to come up with it. That allowed De La Cruz to move up to second base on the wild pitch. So Bulldogs threatening again here. As they have a runner out in scoring position and nobody out here in the top of the 6th. DeMarco misses with that pitch, so 2-0 to R.J. Menard. That curveball's in there for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. De La Cruz out at second. Nobody out. Back to the off-speed pitch from DeMarco. And he's even the count here with 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2. Lined out to center field. Foreman back to the track, to the wall. Out of here. 2-run home run for R.J. Menard. And it's the Bulldogs of Bergen Community College now leading 4-2, courtesy of the 2-run home run by R.J. Menard. So DeMarco had got himself back even with the count, courtesy of the curveballs, but he goes with the fastball there. And Menard didn't miss it, was all over it. Drives that one out to center field. And it's now 4 unanswered runs here for the Bulldogs as they now lead 4-2 here in the 6th. Ian Scalabrini will take that first pitch from Danny DeMarco for a ball. Scalabrini 0 for 2 on the day. Swings and throws that curveball. Nobody out here in the 6th. Big sweeping curveball from DeMarco over for a strike. Swung on and missed by Scalabrini. And that'll be out number 1 here for DeMarco and the Buccaneers. So big first out here after the 2-run home run by Menard. That'll bring up the designated hitter for the Bulldogs, Julian Pinto. He's 0 for 1 hit by pitch. He scored the second run on the Pascal double. Curveballs down there from DeMarco. Getting this. Skies are brightening here in Atlantic City. So Pinto fakes a bunt attempt on that one, called a strike. Although we do have an interesting cloud formation out towards the north of us, towards Brigantine. Back-to-back strikes there for DeMarco. Looks like that one's going to miss us, though. Looks like it's heading north. We should be all right here. Curveball grounded foul down the third base line. So the count remains here, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Julian Pinto. That one straight back, staying alive. Again, we apologize for those watching at home wondering where is the scoreboard and the counts and the balls and the strikes. We're working with some new technology today, so another one fouled straight back. So we do apologize, but we're doing our best here. Happy to bring you some outstanding junior college baseball action here in Atlantic City. Back to the curveball, called strike 3. So back-to-back strikeouts here for Danny DeMarco after the 2-run homer. And with 2 outs and nobody on base, that'll bring up Bergen's center fielder, Carlos Pascal. He's 1 for 2 on the day. His big hit, that 2-run double back in the 5th. First pitch over, first strike from DeMarco. Again, the Buccaneers jumped out to the 2-0 lead courtesy of the 2-run homer by Louis Sorry. Bergen Bulldogs evened it up on the 2 RBI double by Pascal. And now it's the 2-run homer by R.J. Menert here in the 6th. Sees them out in front of this one, leading 4-2. That pitch will miss outside there from DeMarco. Nobody on, 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Pascal swings over top of that one. Caught to complete the strikeout. So DeMarco strikes out the side, but not before the Bulldogs jump out in front courtesy of the 2-run home run by R.J. Menert. We move to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Bergen Bulldogs 4, the Atlantic Cape Buccaneers 2, here on BFA Sports. Here in Atlantic City, the home half of the 6th inning. The Buccaneers trail here 4-2. Stephen Crandall back out for his 6th inning of work. He'll have to face the heart of the lineup here for the Buccaneers, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters. It'll be Sari, Zielinski, and Warner. As the ball gets loose down from the bullpen. As the Bulldogs do have some bullpen activity. But Stephen Crandall, give him some credit. He settled down here. He kind of worked himself through some trouble for the first 3 innings. But escaped the jam in the 4th on the ground ball double play and had a 1-2-3 in the 5th. So they'll send him back out here for the 6th. That first pitch, they'll miss to Sari. Sari 1 for 2 in the day, as again mentioned earlier, the big 2-run homer to get the Buccaneers on the board, but that's been their only run so far here today. Sari will lead us off here in the 6th. He'll take that pitch for a strike. Curveball will miss up. Here's the pitch from Crandall to Louis Sari. Ground ball ripped foul. On the third base side. Ball's put back in play. Curveball fouled straight back and out of play. So Sari stays alive. You have to imagine Crandall's pitch total creeping up to where the Bulldogs might have to make a decision fairly soon. He goes back to the off-speed pitch, it'll miss away. Crandall certainly deserved to go back out there. As his offense has now staked him to a 4-2 lead. He's got a full count here to Louis Sari. Swung on, ripped. The left center field, that ball will get down in the gap all the way to the wall. Sari around first to throw, not in time in the second. So it's a leadoff double from the Buccaneers shortstop, Louis Sari. And we'll see what Bergen Bulldog head coach Steve Mims wants to do with his starter. Because again, the Bulldogs do have bullpen activity. Looks like number 17, Miles Nova, down in the bullpen warming up. He should be warmed up and ready to go if the Bulldogs want to go in that direction, but Crandall will stay back out there. He faces the Buccaneer catcher, Gabe Zielinski. So he takes the first offering over for a strike. Zielinski 0 for 2 on the day. Batting with a runner out at second base and nobody outs here in the top of the 6th. That ball's lined into the gap in right center field. Pascal's over it. It'll be a diving catch by Morita, unable to come up with it. Sari held up, but he'll make his way around third. He'll score to throw in the third, not in time. And it's an RBI triple from Gabe Zielinski. So Zielinski goes with the pitch to right center field. Morita was over it, made a diving attempt, but unable to come up with it. So it's a double and a triple here for the Buccaneer offense as they now only trail by 1. It's 4-3 with a runner over at third and still nobody out here in the 6th. As Bergen Bulldog manager Steve Mims out on the mound to talk to his big right-hander. See what they decide to do. They elect to go to the bullpen. So the day is done here for Stephen Crandall. As he goes 5+ innings here on the day. He gives up 3 runs. He is responsible for the runner over at third. He's given up 8 hits. But a good job by Crandall to keep the Bulldogs in this one since early in the game. As the Bergen Bulldogs will now turn it over to their bullpen. And number 17, Miles Nova. Miles, the freshman right-hand pitcher, 16 2/3 innings pitched on the year. He's given up 14 hits. He's given up 9 earned runs. He struck out 18 in those 16 innings of work, so a good strikeout to inning pitch ratio from him. He's pitching to a 4.86 ERA. Again, we're here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Atlantic Cape trails 4-3. But after a leadoff double by Louis Sari, followed that by a triple by Gabe Zielinski, the Buccaneers find themselves in a position to try and tie this one up. Still nobody out. Miles Nova complete his warm-up pitches. Strong right-hander. Gives the okay sign, ready to rock and roll. As he'll face the Buccaneer right fielder, Trace Warner. Warner 1 for 2 on the day with a base hit. Finds himself batting here with runner at third base, nobody out. The Bulldogs here in the 6th inning will elect defensively to bring the infield in. Try to cut off that run over at third, again leading by 1. Bergen 4, Atlantic Cape 3 here in the bottom of the 6th. 1 on, nobody out. First pitch swung on, dribbler out to Peralta at second. He looks the runner back at third and throws over to first to retire Warner. So with nobody out and the Bulldog defense drawn in, they get exactly what they wanted. And Zielinski over at third, unable to come home on that one. So we'll do it all over again, except this time we have 1 out. Bulldog defense in the infield drawn in. It'll be Nova facing Javi Vega. 1 for 1 on the day with a walk and a single as he ducks under that one for ball 1. Here's the 1-0 from Nova. He fires that one, another weak ground ball that'll get down the third base line. Up with it, fires a home in time, but not in time. As going on the pitch is Gabe Zielinski. R.J. Menert came up with it. His only play was the home. As he makes the throw, but not in time to retire Zielinski. So the tying run for the Buccaneers crosses the plate. And we are all knotted up at 4 here in the bottom of the 6th. So an RBI base hit for Javi Vega. And he'll be over at first as Eduardo Tinoco bats here with 1 out. First pitch swinging from Tinoco, fouls it at the plate. Again, I think Menard's only play was home. I don't think there's any way he retires Vega over at first. I don't think much Menard could do over at third. It was a do or die play. Again, give credit to Zielinski running over at third to beat the throw. As the slider there from Nova is over for a strike, and it's quickly 0-2 to Tinoco. Here's the 0-2 from Nova. Down and away, misses. Nova gets his sign, checks Vega over at first. Here's the 0-1. Check that. Call it strike 3 for out number 2. So Tinoco, a 1-out strikeout victim. And with 2 outs, that'll bring up John Dempsey. Dempsey's grounded into a fielder's choice, lined out at third. His 2 plate appearances so far today. Throw over to first. Vega flinched just enough to look like he was going. But the throw over from Nova, not in time, and Vega's back in safely, so we'll see. Vega is looking to run here early in the count. First pitch from Nova, pounded in there for a strike. You can see why Nova has that good strikeout to inning pitch ratio. Just over 1 strikeout per inning pitched. Always a good sign of a power pitcher. He's coming throwing strikes. That pitch is lined out to left. Jova's out there to retire the side and make the grab. But the Buccaneers score 2 runs on 3 hits. They leave 1. We move to the top of the 7th inning, all knotted at 4 here in Atlantic City on BFA Sports. Here in the 7th, all knotted up at 4. As it'll be a battle of the bullpens the rest of the way as both teams are into their bullpens. As Danny DeMarco is back out for his 3rd inning of work. And he'll face the 8-9-1 hitters here for the Bulldogs. It'll be Vargas, Jova, and Morita. That's the first pitch to Jonathan Vargas. Caught a ball. Vargas 0 for 2 on the day, 2 ground outs. And that pitch will miss, so 2-0 to Vargas. Lead off the 7th inning. That pitch will miss upstairs. So 3-0 here to Jonathan Vargas. Pitch is over there for a strike. Here's the 3-1. Curveball line straight back out of play. waiting for a ball from the umpire. Find ones he likes. And if they're falling behind here, 3-0. Count now stands here at 3 balls and 2 strikes to Vargas. That pitch will miss upstairs, so it's a leadoff walk here for the Bulldogs, courtesy of. And that'll bring up Tom Yova. We'll see how the Bulldogs want to play it. Here with nobody out and a leadoff base runner in a tie ball game. Yova shows bunt, takes for a ball. Dempsey at third. Playing just about halfway. He's really looking to take this bunt attempt away. They take the bunt off. And that pitch will be called a ball. Marco gets his sign. Checks Vargas over at first. He'll throw over. Let him know he's thinking about him. Again, Dempsey creeping in over at third. But Yova looking to swing. He'll take that pitch called for a strike. So it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Here to Tom Yova. Vargas off on the pitch, curveball. And Vargas will steal second, standing up. Got a tremendous jump. And you combine that with an off-speed pitch from DeMarco. And it's a stolen base for Jonathan Vargas. So they decide not to go with the bunt. Instead, they go ahead and steal Vargas. Now Jova's batting with a runner at second and nobody out. He lines that one out in center field. How to get down. Vargas had to hold up a second to see. Foreman up, fires it in time. But it's a base hit for Tom Jova. And that'll put runners at first and third here for the Bulldogs. Top of the 7th. We're in a 4-4 ball game. Buccaneers going to have to try to find a way get themselves out of this inning. That'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Ray Morita, for the Bulldogs. First pitch swinging, swings through that one. Morita 0 for 2 on the day with a walk. Buccaneer infield will play 2 in the middle. Corners are even with the bag. DeMarco has Morita out in front of that one. Now DeMarco quickly finds himself ahead in the count here. No balls and 2 strikes. DeMarco would love a strikeout. That curveball will miss up. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ray Morita. Back to the curveball that'll miss just outside. So good pitch, good take. But that'll even the count here at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jova off on the pitch, swung on through. So DeMarco gets the strikeout he was looking for. But on the pitch, Jova will steal second. So that'll put runners at second and third now with 1 out for Steven Peralta. Time is out. And it looks like we're going to have a pitching change here for the Buccaneers, as DeMarco's day appears to be done. So the line on DeMarco, he goes an inning and 2/3. He strikes out 5. But again, the book is not closed on him, as the runners at second and third are his responsibility. As it'll be Andrew Baldino. So the second baseman for the Buccaneers will come onto the pitching mound. Again, something that he's done throughout the year. Baldino, 10 and 2/3 innings pitched. He's given up 14 hits in those 10 and 2/3 innings, while giving up 4 earned runs. And again, we Peralta 0 for 2 on the day. He does have a walk. Baldino finishes his warm-up pitches. So coming into play second for the Buccaneers will be Devi Suarez. And the the Buccaneer defense will play in on the infield, trying to cut that runner off. First pitch from Baldino, down and in. 1-0 to Steven Peralta. So similar to the last half of the inning, where the Bulldog defense was drawn in, but the Buccaneers able to score as they squared a bunt. A little bit of a safety squeeze. So they appeal the call out to second base to Gary Ornsby. The umpire calls that Peralta did offer that. And again, Vargas over at third did not break completely on the pitch, so a safety squeeze attempt by the Bulldogs. That'll even the count here at 1-1 to Peralta. He swings and fouls that one towards the Buccaneer dugout. As Baldino finds himself in the strikeout count here, ahead 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2 from Baldino. This is down and away. That'll even the count here, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Curveball called, strike 3. So huge strikeout from Baldino, as he gets Peralta looking for out number 2. And the Buccaneers can see themselves out of this inning with no damage, but they're going to have to face the dangerous catcher here for the Bulldogs, Luis De La Cruz. He is 0 for 3 on the day. He did score a run back in the 6th. But up here in a big spot with runners at second and third, again, 2 outs. First pitch from Baldino misses down. And De La Cruz hitting .488 on the season. A big spot here for the big hitter for the Bulldogs. I'll take that pitch for a strike. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Pivotal battle here in this one again. Here in the top of the 7th, tied at 4. Runners at second and third, 2 outs. Here's the 1-1. Swung on, lifted, deep to right field. Warner's going to back to the track. He reaches up, and he makes the grab. Great catch out there in right field by Trace Warner to retire the side. So the Bulldogs threaten here in the 7th, but they score no runs on 1 hit. They leave 2. We move to the home half of the 7th inning. It's stretch time here in Atlantic City. Tied at 4 on BFA Sports.
It's more than a game.
It's more than just practice. It's more than coaching.
3-3-3-3!
It's more than learning.
It's more than a team.
Es más que el béisbol.
Being a good teammate.
Being responsible.
It's being a hard worker.
It's learning how to communicate.
It's becoming the best version of myself.
It's more than baseball. It's a program that transforms lives.
And that's why we need your help to transform the baseball field at Atlantic Cape that has gone unused for years. Through the Bring It Home Capital campaign, we'll work to restore and revitalize the field on campus, giving the Buccaneers a true home field advantage, where we can honor their hard work and dedication. We don't just teach these young men how to be better ball players, we teach them how to be better people, instilling values like responsibility, commitment, and dependability. Our players understand that what happens on the field is only part of the picture. What they do in the classroom, at home, and in their communities is just as important as being a well-rounded athlete. Help us bring it home. Let's show these young athletes that there's nothing that can't be accomplished through determination and teamwork. It's more than baseball. It's changing lives. And together, we can make a difference.
Here in Atlantic City, we move to the bottom of the 7th inning in what has turned out to be a great ball game here today, back and forth. Right now we sit tied at 4. The Buccaneers struck first on a 2-run homer by Louis Sari back in the 3rd. The Bulldogs of Bergen Community College answered with 2 in the 5th. They jumped ahead with 2 runs of their own in the 6th to take a 4-2 lead. Buccaneers scored 2 more of their own in the 6th, and that's where we stand here. 4-4, bottom of the 7th inning. And it's the 9-1 2-hitters here for the Buccaneers. Swung on there by Ian Provenzano. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Miles Nova for the Bulldogs back out for his 2nd inning of work. Pitch misses up and away. So the Buccaneers looking for a little late magic here, trying to pull this one out. Again, the other 2 games of the series, close contest, 4-2, 7-5. And it's a leadoff walk to Ian Provenzano. So the Buccaneers get the base runner they were looking for. And that turns the lineup over for second baseman turned pitcher Andrew Baldino. Give him credit, coming in a big spot. As we have a discussion here between Bergen head coach Steve Mims, that apparently it looks we have a violation on the Bulldog pitcher, which constituted a 1-ball count. So even though there was 3 pitches thrown, counts as balls, Ian Provenzano was given a 1 ball. So either way, 3 balls pitched, 1 ball courtesy of the violation, sends Provenzano down at first base. So Andrew Baldino will bat here with nobody on, a runner over at first. Baldino taking all the way, takes a strike. Baldino 2 for 3 on the day, 2 singles. He's been stranded both times so far he's reached on base. Nova throws over to first. Trying to see if maybe the bunt is on here for Baldino, but didn't show any signs of bunting. The Buccaneers look to have him swing away. They'll take that pitch for a ball. So here's the pitch from Miles Nova. He fires that one in. Baldino laces it one to left field. Jove is back to the track, off his glove, down off the wall. Provenzano round second, he'll stop at third. And it's a double by Andrew Baldino that puts runners at second and third here for the Buccaneers, as they threaten here to take the lead with nobody out here in the bottom of the seventh. So Nova falls behind in the count. Again, some discussion from the Bergen Community College Bulldogs about whether Baldino would bunt, but finding himself ahead in the count, he laces that double over the head of Tom Jove out in left field. And that'll bring up the center fielder, Kevin Foreman. He takes the slider over for a strike. So the Bulldog defense is drawn in here on the infield. Nobody out, runners at second and third. Foreman 1 for 3 on the day. Up here in a big spot. He takes that slider, he lines it out to right field. Morita charges out, unable to come up with it. That ball get down. Provenzano scores from third, and it's a hustle double from Kevin Foreman. So Foreman reaches out, just does enough to lift it out towards no man's land, out in short right field. Peralta from second base did all he could. Again, he was drawn in. If he's playing normal position, maybe he makes that catch, but being drawn in, that ball is allowed to fall. So we're right back to where we started a batter ago. Second and third, still nobody out. But the Buccaneers have pushed across the go-ahead run and now lead here 5-4. So that'll bring up Louis Sari. Sari 2 for 3 on the day. 2 RBIs, courtesy of the 2-run homer. 2 runs scored. Up here in a spot where you can add some insurance runs. That pitch is called a strike. So Kevin Foreman over at third after the double by Andrew Baldino, who's out at second. Nobody out. The first 3 batters here for the Buccaneers reaching in the bottom of the seventh. Sari swings and throws that one. The other crews will fire down to Scalabrini at first to complete the strikeout. So a big first out here for Miles Nova and the Bergen County Community College Bulldogs. And with 1 out, that'll bring up the Buccaneer catcher, Gabe Zielinski. Zielinski 1 for 3 on the day, but his one was a big one. An RBI triple back in the 6th. Up here again with runners at second and third. The first pitch is called a strike. Bergen defense still drawn in on the infield. Swung and fouled straight back. So it's quickly 0-2 to Gabe Zielinski. Here's the 0-2 from Nova. Grounded, back to short. They freeze in there, they got him hung up, they fire back over to third, and they had Foreman caught up in no man's land. Check that Baldino. So on the fielder's choice, they retire Andrew Baldino. He went about halfway down the third base line. Jonathan Vargas came up, looked at Baldino, froze him, had him hung up, and fires over to Menard at third for the fielder's choice for out number 2. So now the Buccaneers find themselves with runners at first and second here, 2 outs for Trace Warner. He lifts that one over to first base side. Scalabrini over to the dugout, makes the grab. So the Bulldogs give up the go-ahead run, but they limit the damage as the Buccaneers score 1 run on 2 hits. They leave 2. We move to the top of the 8th inning. The Atlantic Cape Community College Buccaneers 5, the Bergen Community College Bulldogs 4, here on BFA Sports. It'll be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters here for the Bergen Bulldogs as they find themselves trailing 5-4 here in the top of the 8th inning. They got the right man up here in the right spot is R.J. Menner. 2 for 3 on the day. A big blast from him coming on a courtesy of a 2-run homer back in the 6th. Now batting with his team trailing by a run. Baldino back out for his 2nd inning of work. Again, even though the Bulldogs give up a run in the home half of the 7th, you have to feel like they have a little bit of momentum as they were able to escape a 2nd and 3rd no-out situation. It prevented the Buccaneers from adding any insurance to keep it at a 1-run game. Matter takes that offering from Baldino over for a strike. Taken for a ball. 3 balls and 1 strike to R.J. Menner. He lines out one in the hole. Sorry, backhands, fires across the diamond. In time to retire Menner. So a nice play at shortstop over there by Louis Sorry. He ranges into the hole, backhand, fires across. And that's a big first out for Andrew Baldino and the Buccaneers. That'll bring up Ian Scalabrini. Scalabrini 0 for 3 on the day. Takes the first offering from Baldino over for a called strike. Baldino bounces that one up there. So now even a count here at 1 ball and 1 strike to Ian Scalabrini. That 1-1 misses up and away, so it'll be 2 balls and 1 strike. Here to the Bulldog first baseman. Grounded. Over to Sorry at short. Trusts the backhand again. Fires across the diamond in time. So back-to-back plays made by Louis Sorry over at short. And now with 2 outs. Bring up the Bulldog designated hitter Julian Pinto. Pinto 0 for 2 on the day with a hit by pitch and a run scored. First pitch slider from Baldino over for a strike. Back to that slider, just misses. So that'll even the count here, 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, we're here in the the top of the 8th. Buccaneers played a run in the home half of the 7th, lead 5-4. Here's the 1 ball, 2 strike pitch to Pinto. Misses down and away. Here's the 2-2. Strike 3 called. And that'll retire the side. No runs, no hits, no runners left on base. We move to the home half of the 8th inning. The Buccaneers 5, the Bergen Bulldogs 4, here on BFA Sports. Outstanding view of the downtown Atlantic City Casino. We're here in the home half of the 8th. The Buccaneers clinging to a 5-4 lead. That'll be Devi Suarez leading things off here for the Buccaneers. That pitches the ball. Miles Nova still out on the mound for the Bulldogs. Fires that one foul straight back. Gotta give credit to both of these bullpens. Done an excellent job of keeping the game right here. In reality, there were a couple of spots where both teams had opportunities to kind of break this game open a little bit, but some big pitches and some big spots, some big strikeouts, some good defensive plays have us where we're at here in the bottom of the 8th with the Atlantic Cape Buccaneers leading 5-4. Bulldogs wanted it. Here's the 2-2 from Miles Nova. He gets that one though. Called strike 3 looking for out number 1. And with 1 out, that'll bring up the Buccaneer first baseman Eduardo Tinoco. 0 for 3 on the day so far here today. First pitch from Nova called a strike right at the knees. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on, batted foul, right at home plate. Make its way to the on-deck hitter, John Dempsey. Tinoco finds himself in the hole here, no balls and 2 strikes. They appeal down to first. They say he did not go. So it'll go in the books as a ball. Running the count here, 1 ball and 2 strikes. That'll pitch miss up and in. So that'll even account here, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Eduardo Tinoco. Line back up the middle. It'll be stopped there by Peralta, but he'll have no chance to get Tinoco at first. So it's a 1-out base hit for the Buccaneers, which ends up being their 11th hit of the day so far here today. They've out-hit the Bergen Bulldogs 11-5, but that big difference has only led to a difference of 1 in the run column where it matters the most, as the Buccaneers lead 5-4. So with 1 out, it'll be the 3rd baseman for the Buccaneers, John Dempsey. Dempsey 0 for 3 on the day. Fielder's choice, lined out to 3rd and flew out to left field. Swings and grounds out 1, foul, just foul down the 3rd base line. Tinoco over at first, 1 out. We're here in the bottom of the 8th. The Buccaneers lead 5-4. One's fouled straight back. Tinoco fires over to first. Tinoco back in plenty of time. Maybe a good spot here for Buccaneers to send to Tinoco. 1 out, get another runner in scoring position. Not going. Dempsey lays off that one. Fires back over to first. Again, Tinoco upstanding this time. Nova gets his sign, checks the runner. Here's the pitch. Swung on, lifted, out to right field. Morita, a couple steps back. Now he's coming in, and he's going to have the ball fall right in front of him. So Morita, off the bat, broke back, but realized that was the wrong move. By the time he realized it, it was far too late, and that'll fall in for a blue base hit for John Dempsey. So now you have runners at first and second with 1 out for Ian Provenzano. Provenzano 0 for 2 in a day with a walk and a run scored. First pitch swinging. Scalabrini ranges to his right. He fires to Vargas at second, and they'll get the forced out there. And that's out number 2. So Scalabrini goes with where the ball took him, towards second base. They get the force at second, but that'll put runners at first and third now with 2 outs. For Andrew Baldino. Baldino's been a tough out here today so far this afternoon. 3 for 4. First pitch in the dirt. It'll allow Provenzano to head to second. Tinoco had a hold up over at third as the ball did not get that far away or far enough away. So now with runners at second and third, with 2 out for Baldino. We'll see with the base open how aggressive the Bergen Bulldogs want to be with Baldino. And home laces that one down the right field line. That'll be in for a base hit. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. And it's a big insurance 2 RBI double by Andrew Baldino. And that'll extend the Buccaneer advantage to a now 7-4 lead. So a nice piece of hitting there by Andrew Baldino. Pitch up and away. He just lines it out towards right field. And that'll allow Tinoco and Provenzano to score. And the Buccaneers now lead 7-4 here in the bottom of the 8th. 2 outs. That'll bring up the center fielder, Kevin Foreman. Foreman 2 for 4 on the day. A single, a double, a fielder's choice, and a ground out. Again, kind of had to pick your poison with the base open. You know, if you pitch around Baldino, you still have to face Foreman in the spot. Certainly no easy out. As he takes that pitch for a called strike. Baldino out at second. 2 outs. Kevin Foreman at the plate. That pitch will get by. And now Baldino move up to third base. So another run here for the Buccaneers, 90 feet away. That's 1 ball and 1 strike here to Kevin Foreman. Pitch is taken for a called strike. Not sure Kevin Foreman liked it or agreed with it. But the reality is his opinion doesn't matter all that much. Now he finds himself behind in the count here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That pitch will miss down and away. Check that, 3 balls and 2 strikes here to Kevin Foreman. Here's the 3-2 from Nova. Swung on, lifted, straight up in the air. Nova says he wants it. And the ball falls down and that will allow Baldino to score from third. So the pop-up did not go very far from Miles Nova. He called everybody off, got himself under it, but hits it in and out of his glove. And that'll allow another Buccaneer runner to score, as Atlantic Cape now leads it 8-4 here in the bottom of the 8th. Bergen pitching coach out to settle down his relief pitcher. Again, let's reset the game for you here. We're here in the bottom of the 8th. We came into the inning with the Buccaneers of Atlantic Cape leading 5-4. They've now pushed across 3 runs to extend their advantage to 8-4. They're batting here with 2 outs and a runner over at first base. Bulldogs do have some bullpen action down the right field line, but they're going to leave Miles Nova out there to see if he can finish this inning. So with 2 outs, it'll bring up Louis Sari. Sari 2 for 4 on the day. 2-run homer back in the 3rd. Run scoring double. Reaches out and fouls that one straight back. Here's the 0-1. Swung on. Weakly grounded over to Menard at 3rd. Fires across in time to retire Sari, but not before the Buccaneers plate 3 more big insurance runs on 3 hits. They leave 1. We move to the top of the 9th inning. The Buccaneers leading 8-4 here on BFA Sports. Here in Atlantic City, the top of the 9th. The last swings here for the Bergen Community College Bulldogs as they find themselves trailing here 8-4. What has been a close contest throughout. Broken open in the bottom half of the 8th inning as the Buccaneers plate 3 runs to extend that 5-4 lead to 8-4, which is where we sit right now. It's Andrew Baldino back out to try to close this one out here for the Buccaneers. And he'll face the 7, 8, and 9 hitters. It'll be Carlos Pascal here leading things off. That pitch will just miss. The appeal down to first says he did not go. Pascal 1 for 3. 2 RBI double back in the 5th. The Bulldogs need some base runners, trailing 4 here in the top of the 9th. Good slider there by Baldino. Strike 3. Big first out there for the Buccaneers and Andrew Baldino. That'll bring up Jonathan Vargas. Vargas 0 for 2 with a walk. First pitch from Baldino called a strike. Slider. Vargas will lay off of it, and that'll even the count here at 1 ball and 1 strike. Big swing from Vargas. Swings through it. Dino finds himself ahead in the count here, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Down. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jonathan Vargas. Swung on, lifted, out to center field. Foreman charging. There to make the grab for out number 2. So with 2 away, that'll bring up Tom Jova here for the Bulldogs, their last hope. First pitch taken for a strike. To Tom Jova. Strike 2. Quickly 0-2 to Tom Jova. There's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, foul tip, caught. Squeezed by Gabe Zielinski. And that'll end the ball game. Outstanding job by Andrew Baldino. And your final score here from the Sandcastle. The Atlantic Cape Community College Buccaneers 8. The Bergen Community College Bulldogs 4. With the win, the Buccaneers now improve their record to 14-11, and probably more importantly, improve their Region 19 record to 10-9, while the Bergen Bulldogs will fall to 7-19 and 6-14 in Region 19. Drew Baldino, outstanding job today at the plate, 3 for 5, 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, 1 run scored. And hey, why not? Why don't you earn the win on the pitching mound as well? So an outstanding job by him and this Buccaneer offense to chip away as they come away victorious here in Atlantic City by a final score of 8-4. A huge thanks to our hardworking and tremendous BFA crew pushing the buttons today. Mr. Andrew Jersky here to my left. On the cameras, the great team of Charles Hope and Nick Penza. Nick Penza, our birthday boy. Happy 21, Nick. Beers are on you after the game. And a special thank you to our Atlantic Cape Community College friends for bringing you tonight's game. Once again, your final score here in Atlantic City. The Atlantic Cape Community College Buccaneers 8. The Bergen Community College Bulldogs 4. I'm Bob Burkholz. Thank you for joining us here this evening, and we will see you next time here on BFA Sports. Goodbye and good night, everybody.